David, the first program that we did, that first 14 minutes, I could just say, really, listening to you, it can change my life, because you were talking about the ways of Jesus, the ways of God, to do business in a godly way, a kingdom way, and you highlighted greed and self-centeredness, which could just really destroy the economy, and how Jesus came and he dealt with those issues, and at the end he gave his life. So some of the viewer may say this is easier, to say than done. Do you have any proof from your own life? Can you share some with us that how that model of Jesus Christ changed your life and your business and the business of others?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that we have to understand and have to trust is that the ways that Jesus taught us actually work. So they do work. Doesn't matter whether we think it's counterintuitive, they still work. Okay? So I'll give you an example. My company, so we're a big group of companies valued at over $1 billion. And one of our areas that we operate in is health and fitness. So we have a big women's health club. Nearby, there was a women's health club that we heard was actually under duress. Okay, it wasn't working. We thought they were going broke. So my wife said to me, what are we going to do about this? So I said to her, why don't you go and offer to buy the business? Go and make friends, because my wife is running our women's health club. Go and make friends with her and see if she wants to sell it. And you can offer her this much money, big lump sum of money. So my wife goes there and makes friends and says, do you want to sell your business? And this lady says, no, we're fine. She's a little bit indignant. So we say, okay, that's fine, good. If you ever need a hand, you come and talk to us. Well, 6 months later, this lady comes back into our health club. She's now heavily pregnant. Okay, she's about to have a baby. Her business is in big trouble. She can't pay the rent. The landlord has locked the door, so they can't get in. The members of the health club can't get in. The creditors can't get in. The workers can't get in. The whole place is a mess. She's crying. She's about to have a baby. Everything is a mess. And she said, please buy my health club. You can have it now for this much. Okay, so what do we do? Are we going to do? Are we going to say, well, awesome, isn't God good? Let's buy it for this much.
She's pregnant. I could misuse her and use her situation.
Absolutely. So there's not only her. What about all the members that paid for their access to the club? Now they can't get in. What about all the creditors? What about the landlord? No one's paying rent to him. His family's in trouble. Everybody's distressed. What are we going to do? We are Christians in the marketplace. We are kings, business people in the market. What are we going to do? Are we going to pick it up for a little bit of money? Or we're going to do the right thing? So we look at that, and my wife comes to me and says, what do we do now? I said to her, this is good. We've got over 60 employees, we've got 1,000-something members. Let's show them the kingdom way. Let them watch what we do. So I said to her, right, you go back to that lady and you offer her the same price, okay? Because think about it, we don't want her business, we want her members. So nothing's changed, the members are still there, we want the members. So why would we then we still want the same members, right? So you go there, you tell her that we will give her this much. Then we will pay the landlord to open the doors. Then we will pay out the creditors. So we will pay for all of this. That's the price over and above. We're going to pay for all the stuff. Remember, Jesus' principles work. So we're expecting to get a big return from doing this, okay? And now we say to her, so you go there and open your doors. Now we will pay you this much money, okay? So everything's done. Then we say to her, okay, now is your opportunity to really make money. We want you to get on the phone and you phone every one of your members. Every person who ever walked through your door, even if they've gone 5 years ago, we want them to come to our club, okay? Now, they've all got residual membership because they pay for a year in advance. They can come to our club and they can work off their memberships for free. Now, we know if they come to our club, our girls are going to love them to death. And they're going to join us. We know that statistically. Everyone who comes joins. Because we're a Christian company. We love everybody. We make sure everybody prospers, especially these girls. And so we said to her, you get on the phone everybody. And every time you send us one person, we'll pay you again, over and above all of this. And then when you send 10, next 10, we'll pay you a bit more on the margin. The next 10, a bit more. So we incentivized her to go in there and just get thousands of members for us. And we will make multiples because they will join us and they'll sign up year after year after year because we run a health club where we love everybody. And so this is the gleaning principle in the modern day world. The book of Ruth, where Boaz leaves enough in the field for everybody to prosper. We want this lady to prosper. We want these other ladies to prosper who come in. Because these are all distressed. We want to fix the distress. That's our job. So in they came, and they came, and in they came. So many came in. I didn't even know are these women coming from our sales team or from this sales team? It just doesn't matter. We just pay her. So she walked away totally relaxed. The stress was gone. She had an awesome childbirth. Everybody got paid. The landlord got paid. Everybody got paid. And we got so many members. The place was full. And they're still there today. They still, over and over again, they're joining up. So we all prospered. Okay, we did business God's way, and everybody rises with the tide. And when God sees that, he says, that's my man. Here's more, here's more, here's more. And the Lord knows he can trust us with the wealth. And so that's the logic, just one example of many.
And was it the same story was it the same health club that later on one of the person or one of the manager didn't treat the business well, and the business started to go down, and then you went and you tried to investigate, and then you said,
that's right.
I mean, I know we don't have that much time, but can you just
okay, so that happened before this acquisition.
Oh, before.
So when we bought the business, we did a proper due diligence, financial due diligence, but in that state where that business is, it's the only state in Australia where the members have to actually sign on every year. They have to sign each year. All the other states, they just roll over. In this business, after a few months of owning it, we suddenly realized that there was a whole lot of members there that had left the club years ago, and we were still charging them, which is illegal.
In the Middle East, the way I grew up, if you have something like this, you say they sign up and they're paying for it. I don't really care if they want to pay, they can pay. But you saw that as a problem, but not as a benefit.
No, it's illegal. And also, it's morally wrong. These girls have left. They're not coming anymore. We're supposed to sign them up each year, but if they're not coming and they've gone, we should not be charging them. So when my director phoned me and said, look, isn't God good? We've got all these free members. I said, yes, God is good, but that's not God. That's the devil. That's greed.
Exactly. That's not God. That's greed.
Exactly.
And to me, that could change the whole nation.
Yeah.
To look and say which one is God and which one is greed.
Absolutely.
And it looked like that from the bottom of your heart, and you were in the military also,
Yeah.
you fight and you hate greed. It looked like.
Yeah.
You don't deal with greed, do you?
But you've got to identify it. You need to know the enemy. The enemy is not people. The enemy is the greed and self-centeredness.
It's the enemy.
Yeah. And
I remember you said that you even studied the Bible to learn the ways of the enemy,
yes,
which is Satan, we call, but it's greed.
Yeah, exactly. So once I studied that and I knew that, I was staring straight into the eyes of the enemy in that case. So I made sure that we released all of those women. Now that means our profits are gone, because there were nearly 400 of them out of the club of about 1,800 members. So all the profits went, but it didn't matter because I know God's principles work. And I know I'm being tested. God is testing me. Will you do something wrong for profit, or will you do what is right and rely on me, the provider of your profit? So the objective was, I said to them, let those girls go. And so I let them go. All right. And then soon after that, we were able to move the club into a place that the Lord had organized for us. And now it's a beautiful five-star health club on the east coast of Australia.
Wow.
So
What a beautiful story. I used to say, God and greed both will offer you to take you to the top of the mountain of success. You pick one.
Yeah.
Because greed will offer, but it's faster.
Yeah.
If you could make it. But God will offer, which he did it. And you're a perfect example.
Yeah.
And you're very successful. And you're successful in helping other people to become successful.
Yeah.
But you took the offer of God, not greed.
Because actually God is faster. If you consider, as soon as you work in greed, you now haven't got God anymore. So your ceiling is back to your natural ability. But my ceiling was always 2 million. If I had have worked in greed, I would have gone back to my ceiling. But I didn't. I worked with the Lord, and my ceiling is gone. I'm now over $1 billion.
But for so many people, I'm so glad that you corrected me, that God is faster.
Yeah.
For so many people, $2 million, that's awesome. That's amazing. But you're saying God has even way more.
Yeah, we work within our gifting and within our life's training. So not everybody has to build $1 billion company. With me, I have to, because my assignment is so big.
Yes.
But the point is, God will take you out of your own limit. It might be 2 million. Your limit might be 2 million, might be 800 grand, might be 100 grand. It doesn't matter. Wherever your gifting is, you work within that. So we don't put the pressure on people and say, you have to all run the economy of Egypt.
Of course, yes. It's a principle.
Yeah, that's right.
And we have 5 more minutes that I'd like you to see if you talk about the sheep nation, and that how it's like I think I want people to really understand the future, or just see the future. Once you see where you want to go, then you can just, find your way. The sheep nation, the way you described in the Bible, is so amazing. Can you just explain the sheep nation? And
Sure. Okay, so sheep nation as in sheep and goats in Matthew 25. So this is Jesus talking to the disciples, and he's saying to them, and it's actually called the final judgment. So it's a very important bit of scripture. Okay, so Jesus is saying, right, when I come back, I'm going to take the sheep nations, the sheep people, and put them on my right, and the goat nations on my left. The sheep nations are the ones who dealt with poverty and people in prison, and the strangers, which are the refugees in the modern world, and the widows, and the widows in the modern world are the trafficking of the kids, because, if you extrapolate, our widows these days are quite well looked after. Maybe not so much in Iran, I don't know. But widows these days can make their own income. But it means, in the biblical term, it means a woman who's lost her male protector. That's what a widow was in those days. So these days it's the little trafficked girls and the women who are being trafficked. They've lost their protection. So we've got to look after all of that. So that's what a sheep nation is. If we fix all the social distress, all the poverty, unemployment, starving, suicide, drug addiction, all the stuff that creates human misery and human suffering, we fix that, which is very, very easy to do. I've just given you examples.
Yes.
Then we will have a sheep nation. That's what a sheep nation is.
And then it's not up to the government. You're saying it's
up to the marketplace,
people of the nation.
the business people in the marketplace.
And the root goes back to greed
Yep.
and self-centered
Yep.
or God.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
made it so easy, really. You made it so, it's like now people can say, if the heart of anybody is touched, they say, at least I have a blueprint.
Yeah,
This is, first of all, this is where I want to go.
yeah,
You're from, you just say, I want to go to Sydney, Australia.
yeah.
Now I know where I want to go.
Yeah, A to B, exactly.
And then I could just go by train, or I could go by the safest route.
Yeah.
You're saying this is what Jesus wants us to do.
Yeah,
And he has answer for the social distress and the poverty and everything.
Yeah.
And his answer is, and he told it in the Bible,
yeah,
is to deal with greed and self-centeredness.
Absolutely.
And pick me, which you said is faster. I never could really realize that it's faster.
Oh, yeah, it's
but
much
you're
faster.
saying it's much faster to
Yeah.
pick him. You
That's
have
right.
2 more minutes. Anything you want to share?
yeah. Okay, so we spoke about the sheep nations. What about the goat nation? So the goat nations are the people who did nothing, okay, on the left. So they, if you read it in Matthew 25, I think it's verse 27 or 8, whatever it is, the goat nations are the people that went to hell. Okay, this is Jesus talking. It's his own words. And they went that way not because they caused the problem, but because they did nothing, right? When I was sick, you didn't heal me. When I was poor, when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. That's what Jesus is saying for the goat nations. At this point in time, all of the countries in the world are goat nations. We don't have the option to do nothing. So all of you guys in business, guys and girls, we should use our businesses as tools to fix the social distress. Then you will attract the favor of God, and your business will go supernatural multiplication, because it's the favor of God that creates the supernatural. And if you do God's will, God's way, he will bring the favor, then you'll get the multiplication, then you fix the problem, then you have the sheep nation. Simple as that, and it's very easy.
Thank you. That was awesome. I wish I could interview forever, but I know you're busy, and I just saw you praying for 2 hours. But we ask that everybody that you're watching just stretch their hand toward you and toward your family and toward your business, and may the blessing of the East and the treasure of the East even come to you
Awesome.
as well. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Love you.
Pleasure.
Thank you. It was awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you.